What's up, everybody? This is Kyote.
And Kate.
We are here for a special artist roundtable.
Yeah.
As you can see, we're not in our studio.
No,
we're not in our studio yet, but we hope to get back in soon. This is another round of Artist Roundtable, and we have a special guest, Patrice Bowman, who is actually going to tell us a little bit about a film she's worked on. Some of the activities that she has going on through her business, the current situation. So
yeah, let's hop right into it.
Let's get to Patrice. What's going on?
Welcome.
How you doing?
Welcome to Scriptly Adapted.
Hi, thanks for having me on the show.
A producer, filmmaker, and some of the actual jobs that you've done with your editing and things like that.
Definitely.
Whatever you want to get into.
Sure. So I officially established Bowman Pictures as an LLC in 2018, and I did that to make my freelancing jobs sort of collected under a more professional umbrella, so to say. So through Bowman Pictures, I do post-production work. So that means I'm doing editing and color grading for people's different music videos, short films, short documentaries, promotional videos, things like that. And it is also a production company through which I've been able to produce films that I've created. The latest one was the award-winning Saturday Grace.
So tell us what inspired you first, really, to make this film, and what kind of just motivated you.
Sure. So there were a couple of things that motivated me to create Saturday Grace. Before I officially started filming it, or even before I was writing it actually, I was in a place where I was, still working a lot through Bowman Pictures and also through my other full-time jobs. I believe I was working at Vice at the time.
Okay.
And between those two jobs, I was working on a lot of heavy material that was, for the most part, depressing. So, through Vice, we told a lot of, great and impactful news stories, but a lot of those stories were very, just very depressing and not showing the best side of humanity. All of those things sort of made me ask myself if I could work on something that was a little bit more upbeat. Between all of these jobs I was taking on, I didn't really have a lot of time to create my own work like I did before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with working with a lot of people, collaborating with people, and helping them realize their visions, because there's a lot of great content creators out there, a lot of great filmmakers out there. But you do have to have a balance between doing that and also continuing to grow, your creative side and to further your vision. And I realized that all these things that I had begun, all these stories, they were just half finished. Okay. So I thought, okay, maybe I need to step back, create something that's a little bit more positive than some of the other things I worked on, and just focus on creating something that I can call my own, something that I can write, direct, produce, and also showcase my post-production skills at the same time. I just wanted to create something that could also showcase something that I'd grown up with, going to church as a kid, and that was worship dancing.
Yes.
And yes, so I want to showcase the art behind that.
My sister actually, she did a lot of choreography for her church's praise dance team. Yeah. So when we watched the film,
it resonated.
It resonated with us because, oh my God, this is something that touched us.
Yeah.
This is something that we are also aware of.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's something you explained how you got to that point where you wanted to make the film that showcased that part of your faith journey in a way.
It's just something that I saw in the multiple places that I've attended worship at. I've seen that. I've seen the way they dance around, and then the great music that they move to, the wonderful praise dresses that they have. It's one of the things that I didn't really see like really talked about a lot in mainstream cinema in terms of like artistry that's present in religion. Through that, I wanted to show like how faith is sort of complex. It is something that it can be uplifting, it can be complicated. It can, in the case of Saturday Grace, it's a way that one of the characters like expresses herself. And it's also there when she forms a friendship with the homeless lady in the park. So it was like those three things that I had in mind when I started writing, and I eventually directed Saturday Grace.
I found that part of your film, the praise dance part, beautiful to watch. There was a sense of elegance as well.
Yes,
too.
absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I think because we've referred to the church scene where she's praise dancing, we want to take a quick look at a clip.
Well, alone, desperate, thirsty for more, I'm trapped in a maze of confusion, searching for love, searching for hope. Then I find you waiting for me. You see right through me. You know the truth. I'm not worthy. You are holy, and you offer me a drink. Who are thirsty? A drink from the cup of living water.
I found that part of your film, the praise dance part, beautiful to watch.
And you filmed it. I mean, in the church was just very moving. What compelled you to make the film look a certain way, and through like the theme of the film, acting, music, cinematography, like how did you bring all that together to create the look for Saturday Grace?
Right. So in terms of creating the look for Saturday Grace, I created a lookbook that I sent to different people that, you know, I thought might be able to help me make this film a reality, sending it to people that were interested. And in this lookbook, a couple of, you know, visual, you know, pieces of inspiration that I listed. There were like some, there was probably like a couple of things I'm remembering right now. One was, there's this movie called First Reformed.
Okay.
It's by it's by Paul Schrader. I mean, obviously, that is a very intense, you know, depressing movie. But I really liked the fact that there were a lot of shots in it that were very still, and there wasn't like a lot of action. I mean, in terms of like camera action, I should say. And I wanted to use that kind of stillness to represent moments in the main character's life. She just lost her husband, and she's obviously very depressed. So that was some part of, you know, why I chose like a very still camera to be present in the beginning of the film. I also was drawn to some of the scenes in the movie Good Will Hunting. I was very drawn to just the interaction between the two in that film. Not just visually, but more in terms of theme of, you know, just one person being able to help out another person in a very dark period of their life. I wanted that kind of idea to also be in Saturday Grace, so that when Iyanna meets like the homeless woman Lila, obviously their interaction is tense, but ultimately their difference leads to the beginnings of a strong friendship.
Right.
One of the themes in this film about two women from two different walks of life, that was one of the main things that resonated with me. It was through dance and through worship and faith, and just the fact that they had respect on a basic human level that allowed them to connect.
Gotta focus on that inner spark. I'm alive. So are you.
I wanted to ask you about your the production process of Saturday Grace, and what your favorite part of it was during the making of this film.
Okay, favorite part of the making of Saturday Grace. One of the things that really sticks out to me was, you know, just the choreography. You know, I was present in some of the, you know, the rehearsing, that the two
Well,
lead actors, they were working with the choreographer. Being able to see them, in their element, sort of like working out the dance moves to the music that I picked. I also really enjoy like learning about like the ins and outs of like cinematography in terms of like, the lenses and like how to set up a scene. It's a little bit of a mixed bag because you see all these amazing things that people are able to do on set to make things look the way, the director, I want it to look. I really do find, like you, Kate, a lot of joy in just like sitting down and, piecing everything together. An additional thing that I really got into while making Saturday Grace was the music process. I worked with a composer, Martha Mook, and I really had to learn like what it takes to effectively communicate with a professional composer and to work out a sound that is both there to support the emotion of the scene, but obviously not overdo it. In order to continue to grow as a well-rounded filmmaker, I sort of have to keep throwing myself into pre-production and production just to create my own stories.
Definitely highlight your notoriety and awards in film festivals for this film, and that it's been celebrated. So official selections include the Big Apple Film Festival 2019, Summer Edition, for which you won for the Women Filmmakers Short Film, Real Sisters, REEL, Sisters of the Diaspora Film Festival, and Lecture Series 2019, and also the Yonkers Film Festival 2019.
That's right. And
that's so incredibly, unbelievable.
Film being selected in these film festivals was just a great way to meet other filmmakers and different audience members that really care about meaningful storytelling. So that was good.
Tell us what being officially selected meant to you, as well as winning that award.
Sure. So I definitely felt that with those official selections, the award, and also seeing the amount of people who came out to like these different festivals, and on top of that, the talkback sessions or the Q&A sessions, all of that made me feel that Saturday Grace was able to resonate with like a lot of people from like different backgrounds and all of that, because Saturday Grace is like, a faith-based film, and the two lead characters are like, two African-American women, but it seems like people were still able to really connect with the idea that, people go through very difficult things in their lives. Art can be a place where people can feel healed. Faith is important. And also two people from two different walks of life can still find a common ground and, just be able to connect on a genuine level and, just improve as people. And so when I, see the official selections, I see the award, it makes me feel that, this small film was able to make some sort of impact. I will add that Yonkers Film Festival actually invited me back for like their Black History Month showcase. So that was pretty cool. I was able to meet like more filmmakers as well.
And the representation, I think, being in so many different types of film festivals, especially in the circuit, I think is incredibly important too, because that allows you to meet different people from all walks of life. And that is extremely important, especially with what's going on right now.
We're living through some interesting and trying and some difficult times right now. And as an artist, a Black woman who's an artist, right? Can you tell us how the current racial tension, what that means to you and your artistry currently and possibly moving forward?
I'm like the founder and owner of like Bowman Pictures, and I again, I am a Black woman, small business film owner, and I do care about, diversity in storytelling. I care about, just being explicit about the different injustices that we have in our current like climate, especially with police accountability, and also, keeping people aware about criminal justice reform. So I would say that overall, I'm optimistic about changes in our society, and in terms of how this current situation is impacting entertainment, I have seen more calls on social media for like more like Black writers and like people trying to open up more opportunities for people that look like me. So I do think that this is going to be a continued push in the right direction. It looks like more brands are being very explicit about the fact that, hey, we as a society need to pay attention to this justice issue. I do want to continue to monitor the situation because it can be very easy to say, or for especially a brand to say that they care about these things, but we also need to continue to push for, just like more like diversity and leadership in some of these brands so that, the actions can match the words, so to speak. Yes. I mean, like other people on social media are saying this as well, but that's something very important. That answers your question.
It does, no, it definitely does. And also another current situation that's going on is COVID-19, as obviously, as you can see, why we're doing this remotely. So again, as a small business, as an entrepreneur, someone who, is in the industry, entertainment arts, how have you seen in the last couple of months with your workload, getting projects being impacted by COVID-19?
I've been impacted by that. I obviously am searching for more and more clients who have been able to shoot things before the COVID-19 breakdown. So I'm still working out a couple of details on that end to try to lock something down. So I would say that, it's kind of weird to have seen the drop off in terms of job postings. It's definitely hit, independent filmmakers a lot. I mean, obviously larger production companies are on hold as well, but especially like independent filmmakers, it's who are already like in a very precarious place in terms of like financial stability. It's definitely hit them a lot because, small like gigs dry up. I mean, particularly on the production side,
right?
If you're doing like on-set sound, your DP, all that has really hit people that I know. The drop off in people asking for like different production, post-production help on Facebook was definitely a little scary. I think people are slowly adjusting to the fact that you could just film something in your house.
COVID-19 has really forced a lot of artists to look at, okay, how can I maximize my workflow now? How can I maximize, getting money, being able to survive, because being an artist period is tough, very rewarding, but very hard, especially when you're an entrepreneur, building your business, especially if you're small owned business, it's hard in a normal circumstance. So I could see how now with COVID-19, but it's really about reshaping perspectives and saying to yourself, okay, how am I going to work with what I have? Right. And that's important because you still want to get content out there.
As we wind down a little bit, as we close a little bit, this is a question.
It's a tough one.
This is a tough one. This is a question we ask all our guests right before we end. Okay. The question is very simple, but could be difficult. What is your favorite movie? That's usually the reaction.
Sorry, we didn't give you forewarning.
Usually the warning.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, this isn't even like a question I've never had asked of me, but just like every single time it's difficult. Oh man. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to go with Malcolm X. Let's go with that today. Just
Today is Malcolm X.
Today
okay.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow might be different.
Yeah, just in terms of I'm just thinking back by like I've probably seen it like 3 or 4 times, and I'm always impressed by Denzel Washington's acting. Like the music is just great. I mean, it's obviously a long movie, but it never feels that way. Just because everything is just going like this, and there's just like all the acting is on point, and
also the camera work too. Like, I mean,
yeah,
known for, you know, the dollying effect, but that scene where he's walking down the street and he's doing the dolly, I mean, that to me, that's always the first image that comes to my mind when I think of that film.
Yeah, that to me is probably Spike's, Spike's best film as far as historical context is concerned, and the filmmaking, the music, like you mentioned. That to me is probably my favorite Spike film, but I like it. I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. Thank you so much for joining us for our version of Scriptly Adapted Artist Roundtable. You guys should support all your local artists. Patrice Bowman, ladies and gentlemen, from Bowman Pictures. Continue to check us out on all our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Stay safe. Be well. This is Scriptly Adapted. Take care, guys.
Peace.
Thank you.